Hey Cancer, it's Leo season, and it may be Leo season for the rest of the month, but however, you've come up quite often in the readings, not just through the Chariot, but through your tendency to create magic with things that you feel very strongly about. The power behind that is incredible, and you should be acknowledged for it more. Before we get into the cards, I've been telling myself I'm going to do this, is all information to work with me one-on-one is in the description box below, along with a new podcast that I started, along with the second part on Patreon, which is where we go through the cards, we go through the planets, we go through the body parts associated to the planets. They're not very long videos, but there's a lot of information packed into them, just like these ones. So I just wanted to share that with you before we get started into your reading. So we have the Ace of Wands, 10 of Swords, and the Lovers. What this is first reminding me of right now is that you're transforming these different parts of you that include things Venus, because Venus is in your sign until the 11th. So this will probably come out around there or right before, and then it will enter the sign of Leo. So that's what comes next. So for you, this is about opening up in a different way, experiencing love in a different way, experiencing like intimate, very intimate, because from your season to this season is a very intimate time. I think we get distracted by Leo's outward expression so much that we forget what they're really like. And if you know a Leo on a personal level, you know that they can be very intimate. They have a very strong unit of people normally supporting and also hearing them out from time to time, but them hearing other people out as well, and really leading this example about how to get people to sit around the fire. However, they also experience the same things we all do in terms of the ups and downs with that. So you're getting this incredible amount of energy and potential to acknowledge your subconscious in a way where whatever came out from even Gemini season until now, you gave it the proper amount of time. You feel like you're ready. You feel like you're being given so much energy and so much to do that you may find yourself not so much burning out, but this is the energy I love, is when you're creating so much or letting so much out of you that you feel so tired at the end of the day, but it's not because you just did all of these things and did all of these tasks, or because you worked out really hard. It's really you're working out your creativity or working out those kinds of muscles. So this Lover's energy is about how you then allow that to form into recycle, renew, compost, whatever you want to call it, but really form into what you've been being told. You've been divinely guided before, and now is a time where you're going to be even more divinely guided, where things are closing, things are opening, and there's a part of you that you've been wanting and working on for a while, but now you're finally ready to release, let go of its hold over you, its constraint over you. And this season is giving you that energy, giving you that power, giving you the capability to do so. Sorry, this is just really bothering me. You are really listening, and you may find someone this month. There may be love coming into your life, or a renewal of the love that already exists in your life. However, you're finding that you're not as controlled by the relationship, or if you're codependent, you feel so much more independent of that. You may find that maybe there's just this one thing that reaches its peak, and then you're kind of just like, I want to be alone, I want to be more independent. Or if you're in a relationship already, you find that you need a little bit more time to yourself this month, and you give it to yourself. And if you do give it to yourself, you're going to gain and know how to use that power. Interesting, because this came up in the Taurus reading, but in a different way, which is so interesting to me. So maybe some of you need to watch the Taurus reading, but there may be a Sagittarius in your life, or a very strong dominant figure in your life, where this could be your connection with the divine and your connection with a higher power too, perhaps, or this newly found expansive understanding of your own nature and what you need at different times, even though so many people always need from you and need your energy. And instead of, doing a wild and crazy thing, which is possible this month, you feel more wild and crazy being controlled and content with yourself, content with how this dominant figure has influenced you in your life and how the power is coming to you now. And if this person that you're involved with, and it is a romantic relationship, and it's more of a masculine figure, you may find, sorry, my cat is just all over me all the time right now. I just got my toes. They may be wanting to be all over you all the time right now, and you're needing space, and they may not understand right away. I don't think this will break anything, but this is just something that they may need to deal with on their own, that you can't really do more than say, like, I understand where you're coming from, or whatever it is that you say to calm them down instead of lashing out, or you just don't respond until you're ready to be very clear and concise of, like, listen, this is just about what I need right now. I need time, I need space, I need not to be so maybe dominated, not to be so needed right now. I need my space, because how do you think I do all the things that I do? How do you think I'm able to utilize this energy so well? Maybe some of you need like a retreat or time just to take space to connect with that higher sense of self, and you may find so much goodness up there, and you don't want anyone to get in the way of that. So if this person doesn't understand, then just do what you need to do. Don't explain yourself too much. Don't work too hard for anyone's attention. Just like a Leo or an Aries, like, you don't need to overextend that right now. If people are wanting you to work harder for something that because they think you should, they're not you. They don't get to decide that, especially this season. Like, we just came out of your season, and now you want me to do what? No, that's not what you want to do. Promise. You've done a lot of the work, 10 to 10, and you don't need to do that much this month. This month is about you, again, the strength to have restraint, where Mars maybe want to push you, or that dominant figure maybe wants to push you, where you're like, I'm not able to be pushed in that direction. I'm the current. I'm controlling this now. I don't want to be pushed. I just am doing what I need to do. I'm exactly how I want to be. And if people around me don't understand that, then I don't know what to say. You're not as attached right now to that, even though the right people and the people who love you will be. They will understand. You may even gain a lot of perspective by taking some time, but knowing that you don't want to be completely removed. You also want to be somewhat interactive. Strength coming at the end. You want to be interactive with the people that you feel maybe inspired to see, not out of like, oh, I haven't seen this person in a while, I should see them. But if someone comes up in your head and you really just feel like you need to talk to them or need to just have a time with them, it could just be like a fun ass time, then do that. Like, fill yourself, find your joy. Just listen to something, and I've heard this over and over, and I do this for myself as well. But as you know, when you go through lows, it's like hard. It's like, what even like brings me joy? Like, what even is important for me to feel pleasure and do the things that make me so magical? It's giving yourself the space for sometimes the first step, because maybe that thing has changed. Maybe that thing, or you're changing, where you need to be able to give yourself, and maybe what you need is space. Maybe what you need is only one-on-one connections right now, or those few people in your life who really get you and understand your silence and understand you need to express yourself in the ways that are also just as like fun, because you could have a lot of fun this month too. And it's about not letting anyone get you down or bring you away from that right now, because again, you're given so much this is something I think I said to Capricorn too, which is funny because it's your axis, raw potential this month to commit to this part of you. You've done it before And you might be reminded of that over and over again, and having flashbacks or deja vu. And you're just like, why am I thinking about this? And then you're finally, it's connected to, oh, like, it's because that's what I need to feel again. There are times in my life, I have Cancer double, like, 3rd and 4th house, which makes my chart very complicated. But what those placements have taught me, because Cancer does, the moon does rule the 4th house. Yeah, the 4th sign, 4th house. So it makes me understand you, because I had a resistance to a lot of Cancerian placements for a long time, but my best friend has 2 major placements, and I've also learned to really appreciate something that you do that a Libra cannot. And that also, that's why I'm so great at connecting with people on an intimate level, and why that, like, even sometimes a general reading, and eventually hopefully more people will see this and understand this, is that I'm able to connect so deeply because of what I've learned from having those placements and having a wide range of feeling. But it's a letting go of, there's a lot of letting go of attachment of the outer world. There's a lot of letting go of, no one's process is gonna look like this the way mine does. My family life, or my life interacting with people and with myself to an extent, will always be somewhat of a secret, because as much as a Cancer can express and explain and bring you to those emotional places and those emotional states, high or low, just by giving, like, your heart and your essence and your love into anything that you create or do, or even the relationships that you do have, and the ones that are balanced, I guess I should say, is that there's always this rawness about it that can never be repeated. It can't ever be changed. And anytime I try to do something where it's too staged or not like me, there's always this, like, whoa, what the fuck was that? So the more that you're able to be yourself and express yourself in the ways that make you feel free and make your emotional state. So anytime you're feeling unbalanced emotionally, just know that that's not, it's maybe time to address it and acknowledge it right in the moment, very clearly, very Queen of Swords, just for the simple fact that your peace this month is very important. Your time is very important. Not that it never is, but this month specifically, Mars wants to talk to you once it comes into Gemini. It just, like, wants to tell you things. And it's going to be there for a while, and you're going to feel so connected to source and to everything around you. It's a very spiritual time for you in this very physical month, that it feels so real to you. It may feel like a person. It may feel more connected to that side of yourself, that doesn't feel so distant in times when you really need it, that you don't need to remove yourself completely in order to experience this either, that you can have support, or you can be around friends or people that love you and do the things that you love externally, and it just feeds you internally, and then this whole thing starts happening and you're like, holy shit, I see these things, and all of a sudden shit just starts happening. Or if something's been stuck for a while, or relationships have been stuck, or certain things, there's just this relief that happens if you allow it by the end of the month. But that will also cause you to, bottom of the deck, learn where you need to balance things out a little bit better, or learn where you're deciding between things that ultimately the question is, what really matters? What is for the long term? What about this says the Ten of Pentacles in your eyes? Because it's not going to be the same thing for everybody. It's like what you envision, the Ten of Pentacles, longevity, stability, what that looks like for you. And you need this. What happens this month is the kind of stability that you need to have and be able to access at any time where you feel like you need it personally. And there could be a Leo or Aries in your life that causes you to understand this, whether it's in a way where you're like, oh shit, like, you're the person I just don't really want to be around right now. You're too much work. And sometimes, like, people are too much work, and it's not that they're too much. You're just like, I'm not in a place where I can maybe be around this, or this energy isn't for me. Maybe you need to, like, go off on your own, and maybe you need to say the hard thing that's like, yo, like, maybe you just need time to yourself, which is very, we have the Emperor here too. So you're finding out, and if you maybe watch the Leo video, or if you have a Leo in your life, maybe you have a chance to recognize this, because they're very much in a place where they really don't fucking care. Like, they love being life party, they love attention, but they only want to be around people that they want to be around. They only want to be around people that get them or that challenge them in a great way. It's like the people that really are compatible with. So right now, that's where you're at. And it's going to help you develop even a stronger sense of self this month, and as we move forward, and as you move forward in your life and in your any of your, you know, intimate relationships, including the one with money, including your one with finances. That's all involved, especially with Venus. So once Venus moves out of your sign, you'll get a chance to burn away, or things will be really ignited to what's actually important to you. You know, Leo rules the heart and the back, so it's like this, it's right in the middle. It's our shield, which is also like the crab, but it's our shield, but it's also what we're giving away in this life so that we can receive. And this temperance energy is just so strong. It's right smack dab in the middle. So we'll get into the second part, which will go even more into what I was just saying. Again, all information to work with me is below. Remember your magic, and I'll see you next month, Cancer.